Hey Miss Looney, it's Alex. Welcome back to Hughes Honda. I'm going to make this short video for you on the 2019 Honda CR-V EXL that you like, but we didn't get a chance to check out. So usually what I like to do with most folks is just start up front here, and we'll begin with the key fob. So just to let you know, this might be a big difference. These are smart keys. So whenever this key is within 32 inches of the door handle, whether it be in your pocket, purse, or in your hand, you can just put your hand over the door handle. There's a sensor on the back of it that'll allow it to unlock without you ever touching the key. And then there's a sensor on the edge of the door handle that it will lock. So if you just rest your finger on the edge right there, you can kind of see it. That will allow your CR-V to lock. And then you can turn on a feature too called walkway auto lock. So if you'd like, really it makes it simple. You walk away from your CR-V after you exit that 32-inch parameter, it will automatically lock, which I actually really like that. And we'll come back to the key. There's some things there. We're going to go ahead and pop the hood, and I'll show you a big difference. You'll have a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine now, so your fuel economy is way up, fun's way up, power's way up. So there's some big differences there, and I'd really like for you to experience the drive. Again, no power steering. It's an electronic steering rack, so it's a bit lighter too, and you can manipulate the feel of the steering wheel. So if you like it heavier, if you like it lighter, you can really find a nice position for yourself there. And there's some great things to talk about inside, but we'll close the hood and we'll come back to the key. So with this, you'll have remote start too. So if you ever wanted to, you can press the lock button, and then you can hold down on this remote start button, and that will actually automatically start your CR-V up. So just to kind of show you that mode, and we'll cut it off in a second, but it'll run for 10 minutes that way. Set the interior temp to 72 degrees. It can be quite nice. I'll cut it off. You just hold back down on this button here. Probably one of the biggest things I'd like to tell you though that's way different from what you have now on your pre-owned CR-V is the fact that you have the holy grail of safety features now. So just like yours, you have fog lights. This one has projector beam halogen lights for headlights. But to me, this radar in the front bumper and the camera in the windshield will do you a huge service in the future. So there's two parts to that, and Honda calls it the Honda Sensing Suite. You'll have a collision mitigation system and also a driver assist system. So to kind of briefly explain it, your collision mitigation system will stop you for traffic, pedestrians, and it can pull you back onto the road if you start to leave the road. It's doing that through a radar in the front bumper and a camera in the windshield. But as a part of the driver assist systems, which will make your CR-V really semi-autonomous, it'll start to drive itself partially. You can turn that on. You have a feature called adaptive cruise control that'll basically automatically follow vehicles ahead of you up to the cruise speed that you'll set. And you can kind of pace with those drivers, and it'll slow you down if they start to slow down automatically. But the camera in the windshield will start to read the road lines too, and it can actually balance you on the road and center you there. That's a little bit of information overload. I really recommend you go onto a website called HondaTechTutor.com. It will explain those things and really break them down in great videos. That's a Honda website, but it's kind of a little less known. But HondaTechTutor.com, that's a great way to do your homework on that. Now coming around to the side here, you'll have these specific machine finished aluminum alloy wheels that will be on the EX and above, so it sort of signifies what you have. They look great. In the side view mirrors on the edge here, you'll have integrated turn indicators there and a blind spot information system. So I don't know if you can really see it, but that little indicator will light up when someone's in your blind spot, and that's on both sides of the vehicle. Now if you start to merge over, it will actually start beeping at you if there's someone in your blind spot and you don't see them. So there's a few stages to that. Now back here, again, LED lights. You have a power tailgate, and that's a height adjustable power tailgate. So I'll show you what I mean here once it's opened up. Now that's a little bit wider of a cargo space than what you're used to, and it's quite a bit longer. But up here back to the tailgate, if you don't like the position to which it comes to, let me focus this in, you can actually hold this down. So in other words, let's say I want it a little bit lower, I'll bring it down a little bit lower, I'll hold down on this, wait for the second set of beeps. And now it'll only ever come to this level, so when you're opening and closing, it's more comfortable for you, which is great. Now back here, this is probably one of my favorite parts. This whole cargo area here, you can really change it to fit what you're doing. So I just dropped it down there, so if you need a little bit more height, you can do that. Now if you raise it up, you'll create a flat surface for yourself, which is nice. And so if you're moving or have bigger objects, all you do is just pull these levers right here on the edge of the cargo area, and that'll collapse your seat backs down, so you have a ton of space there. Those seat backs actually recline, so if you have your friends with you, you have a little bit more room there. It's best in class cargo storage and second row seating, so it's super nice. I'm going to close this tailgate. Oh, but before I do, you have a privacy shade here, and that can come out. You have one of these now, that helps just protect against valuables, but wanted to show you that just so you know that you're still getting it. And we'll close this right back down. And again, to remind you, you'll have a capless fuel filler, so a little bit of a simplicity there. You just take the nozzle, put it right in. There's no, there's no cap, so you can't forget it. Just makes your life a little bit more simple. We'll open this up next. And this is the leather that you like, so it's perforated, breathes really nice. And then, you know, like I was telling you, these seats can recline. So I'll put this one, you know, back normally. You can kind of see the little bit of a difference there, but it makes a huge difference when you're sitting inside of it. And when you flip this cargo area down, you'll have your cup holders right there, which you didn't get a chance to see when you were here. Rear ventilation, and these are 2 USB quick chargers, so they have higher amperage. You know, if you have someone back here with mobile devices, that's a great way to charge up on the fly. And we're gonna hop up front. So back to these keys. This one is numbered, and so will the other one. And this one says driver 2. So, you know, these have memory seats now. So when you get in here after you set a nice driving position for yourself, you need to set your seat. So I would hit set and then 2, then it'll come to your seating position. As soon as your hand hits the door handle, it'll know who you are. That's why these keys are coordinated, and then everything will be just really easy from there. And I'll hop in and we'll fire it up. All you do is just press this start stop button here, and you get a nice little startup mode. And I'm gonna push this steering wheel a little bit more up so we can kind of get a better idea. And I'm gonna slide the seat a little bit more back so we can get a better overview. And then I'm going to focus my camera. So on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll have your phone and audio controls. On the right side, you have your driver assist features. Down here, you have your collision mitigation features. And again, HondaTechTutor.com. Up here, this is an all-digital gauge cluster, and I'm trying to make this video as short but informative as I can, so I'm not going to go into all these different menus, but you need to just, you know, maybe do some homework on this. One big one that I'll point out to you, though, is something called the driver attention level monitor. So your CRV is constantly tracking your driving patterns. If it detects you're getting sleepy, you'll get an alert up there to take a break, so it's like a little buddy that has your back. So if you're coming back home late one night, you know, that can really save your life. But now over here on this infotainment system, this is the bulk of it. This can be really fun while you're driving. If you have a smartphone, I think you said you had an iPhone, you'll be able to use something called Apple CarPlay. You know, nobody really buys navigation anymore. The Apple CarPlay runs through your phone and mirrors it to the screen. So if you have a smartphone, you'll be able to see things like Google Maps, Apple Maps up here on the screen, which can be really nice. Siri is integrated through the car, so if you want to say, hey, you know, call Alex, text Alex, I'm enjoying my new CRV, it'll automatically send that text message to me, and you can just speak plain English into the car and it understands it, regurgitates it into a text message and sends it to me, so it can be nice. You can navigate that way. It's super. I'll show you when you get here, but just to kind of give you a heads up. There's a lot that this can do, especially with the audio, so if you come into here, you can kind of see all your different listening options, and we need to really sit down and spend some time going over these features. There's so much to talk about. I could probably make a 30-minute video just on this. You know, but to give you an idea, right? Now you'll have dual climate zones, so you have a driver passenger climate zone, tri-level heated seats, okay, and you have these analog buttons. So if you're more of the analog style, you can use the controls here, but if you like the digital version, you press climate. Now you can control the climate here. So there's some differences, and your backup camera is way different. And so they've changed some things here. You have the wide view, the normal view, the straight down view, and this is something called a cross traffic monitoring system. So I didn't tell you this yet, but there's a radar on the rear. So I'm going to go ahead and back up here and hope that somebody comes from behind me. That radar is going to be looking for people that are moving behind you that maybe you can't see with your own eyes or the backup camera. And if there's someone coming, it'll point an arrow in the direction they're coming from and beep at you. So I bet you if I back up here into our drive, we could probably even pick up the traffic coming from Moody Road. So let me just swing this thing around here. And you're going to see that start to go off. Let me just park right here. And we're just going to wait a second. And when someone starts to come down the hill, it'll start to beep. We're going to be looking from, oh, it actually came from the other side. But that's a really nice thing because, you know, if you just can't see, maybe there's 2 big trucks parked on both sides of you, that radar can really be a lifesaver. And those guidelines are marked, so the furthest line back from me on that backup camera, I'll show you again. That's going to be approximately 6 feet, then it goes 4 feet and 3 feet from your back bumper right there. And these guidelines are dynamic, so the idea is when you're backing up, you just want to get the inner orange lines inside of the outer white lines in the parking space. And I think I'm going to hit that Mitsubishi right there. So let me pull back up again and I'll try it again. But just to give you an idea. Now, your parking brake in this is electronic. So once you park, if you're on a hill especially, you might want to set the parking brake. I'll show you how to do that. All you do is just pull this switch here. That's your parking brake, and you'll know the brake's on because it says it down there. And we need to go over some more things with that. Your center console is quite a bit different. They call this a multi-configurable center console here. Some things can come out, get rearranged. You have more chargers down there, USB ports. You got it all. And, you know, of course, you'll have a one-touch power sunroof just like you have now. You'll have this conversation mirror that doubles as a sunglass holder, integrated garage door controls, and an auto-dimming mirror, and a whole lot more. We'll talk about it once you get here, though. Again, I'm Alex, and I really recommend you utilize my cell phone number. You can call or text me anytime, but I just want to let you know what to expect when you get here. And I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll check it out. Thanks. Bye-bye.